right-hand, left-hand combination poses problems for bowlers. Doesn't matter how good they are, they just have to change their line and sometimes their length as well. And these two have done the job, not just in these matches, but also in other matches for Australia. It's finding it a little bit disconcerting for the bowlers. 6 from that first over. Australia on their way. 6 for no wicket, and it's going to be Shaminder Vast on the second over. He'll be bowling from umpire Shepherd's end. Imran Khan was saying, when he was talking with Ravi Shastri out in the centre, that he thought there'd be a bit of swing there. Well, if anyone's going to swing the ball, it'll be Shaminder Vast, who's turned in some excellent performances in this competition.
He's also used the angle to bowl across to the right-hander very well. Kept the batsman guessing.
And that's perfectly illustrated with that ball. He speared it across and had the batsman playing away through gully. They've always been difficult, these left-armers, over the wicket to right-handers. Some of them cut the ball away, some of them actually swing it away, which is difficult to do. But they certainly pose problems. Some batsmen of international standard have even had to change their batting styles to accommodate them.
And there is that natural outswinger that the left-hander bowls. That's the one that right-handers find more difficult to look out for, particularly if the bowler is angling the ball away. They have to think about whether to leave that ball or whether it will nip back in.
In the first 15 overs, only 2 men are allowed outside that fielding circle.
More difficult to.
And in this case, it's a man down at deep third man, another one at deep fine leg. Fairly wide, he's around about 45 degrees. And the man at deep third man is in the line of where a normal gully would be. Taylor's in form with both the cover drive and the pull shot.
Well, Taylor has obviously got a hang of the wicket very quickly, because while the earlier over saw him play the drive, this time he's picked the bounce very early and pulled it away for a boundary. It's very important for batsmen to get a measure of the wicket very quickly. Taylor seems to have done that in 2 overs. Taylor's obviously
Take the single there, and that takes it along to 12 for no wicket. 2 overs gone. I think the 3 boundaries that have been hit, a very good indication that this could be a high-scoring game if the players play to their potential and to the way the pitch looks.
Yes, it does look like a very good batting wicket. The pace is there, and there's a lot of even bounce as well, and which will only mean that there's going to be a lot of hard work for the bowlers. They really won't get much help from this wicket, and if the batsman has to get out, it'll be only because he's over ambitious.
Not only does the outfield look fast and relatively unaffected by the rain, which is very heavy, at about 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock this morning. There's lightning coming through my window and a bit of thunder as well. Beautiful stroke. Played with delightful ease. Really only just helped it around. Didn't smash it.
Yes, he picked it up very early. He picked it up as the one that Chaminda Was angles across to the right-hander, but it was the ball coming into the left-hander, and he just helped it along. Not too much of power in it, just a little bit of guidance as far as the direction is concerned. And it's another boundary to Mark Taylor. He really is batting with a lot more confidence than Mark Waugh is at the moment.
Oh, that's a good shot. Well, Taylor's in the mood, and it's now gone on to 31 for no wicket. 6 overs have gone through. I think he likes the pitch, that's the first thing.
And he just helped it along. Not too much of power in it, just a little bit of guidance as far
Good
as
footwork.
is concerned.
Footwork's been excellent. Again, that comes from a touch of confidence.
He really is batting with a lot more confidence than Mark Waugh is at the moment.
Taylor's in the mood, and it's now gone on to 31 for no wicket. 6 overs. Likes the pitch, that's the first thing. They got 2 there, but it was almost only 1.5. Waugh was on his way back on a perfectly straight line.
In the air and straight down Jayasuriya's throat. So that's a terrific breakthrough for Sri Lanka. Mark Waugh, as I mentioned before play started, if he bats for a reasonable amount of time, Australia are always going to set a big target. So that's a blow for Australia and a boost for Sri Lanka.
Yes, I think any early wicket's a good wicket, but this one in particular is a huge one for Sri Lanka. Very quick scoring batsman, elegant player Mark Waugh, and been in top form. So they'll think they've got the biggest wicket they could get. 36 for 1 Australia.
Ricky Ponting coming in at number 3 has 2 centuries to his name at this level. And one of them is against Sri Lanka, made at the MCG on the 9th of January this year. This is the 123 you see there. He came in, and Australia were, well, they weren't in great strife when he came in, but they lost a couple of wickets. He played extremely well. His other 100 was against the West Indies at Jaipur. Plays pace bowling very well, Ricky Ponting. Runs quickly. And he comes in at the fall of Mark Waugh's wicket. Mark Waugh looking at the pitch as he walked off, as though the ball didn't quite come on to him.
I just think it's one of those balls that you flip at and get there a little bit too early. When you do that, you tend to look at the pitch and blame anything but yourself. But I just think he got into that a little early and then just chipped it up in the air rather than waiting for the ball a little bit.
Runs quickly. Well, it's been that sort of World Cup for this man, Jayasuriya. He seems to be the right man in the right place. And Chaminda Was asking the question. Umpire Shepherd says no.
Yes, I don't think there was any doubt about this. It moved off the seam. You see it pitching and going down leg side. Look where the keeper's going.
Ravinder De Silva coming around from mid-on. It's a better over from Vikramasinghe. It's 41 for 1. Excellent shot. Bit of width there. And Chaminda Was really punished.
Yeah, that's an easy ball to hit. It's so wide, he just threw everything at it. Pitches on, running across and bang. He's got to keep it fairly straight and tuck up the right-handers a little bit.
Excellent shot. Bit of width there.
Didn't time that particularly well, Ricky Ponting, but you could see from the type of stroke that anything with width, he just threw the bat at it. I still feel it's so important the spinners aren't out of the attack for too long. If the spinners can get it to turn, they'll be a vital factor for Sri Lanka.
That's beautifully hit. Just inside the rope. Lovely timing, and brings up the 50 for Australia.
Well, they're pleased, and they've every reason to be. Score at half century, scoring over 4 and over. The ball coming onto the back quite easily, and just hits through that. And they're just in a nice comfort zone of these two not-out batsmen.
Lovely timing and brings up the 50. That's why the man has been put back. Gurusingha. Now he threatened, and it's cost Sri Lanka a run. Shouldn't be threatening from 70 metres. You should be throwing the ball in.
Yeah, not good that. He did a nice pick-up, one-handed, and then he forgot to let the ball go. Just trying to bluff the batsman. There he is, you see, took an extra step to get on balance, and it was all they needed. They sprinted for another run.
That's why the man has been put back. Oh, that's gone. 6 it is, the first one of this World Cup final.
Well, this was short. Easy to hit, and he smacked it out of the ground. I mean, that was short of a length. I've no doubt in my mind they're going to have to bowl a spinner. That's halfway down the pitch. That they've got to change the tempo for the Australians. They've got seamers coming in at either end, and they're just hitting through the ball when it's up, standing back and pulling it. And you've got to make them think a bit differently. You've got to get their top order off spinner into the game, I think. Well, this was short.
Too short.
Well, it's so easy for the Australians. Flat pitch in good touch. Any shortness of length or width, the ball just sits up nicely to be belted. And there it is. It pitches outside off stump. Got a little bit wider. Probably half a yard, 2/3 of a yard too short, and he just smacked it. I don't think the bowlers will have to air too much in line or length on this pitch. Bowlers of either side, because it's a very good batting surface. Well, it's so easy for the Australians.
Nicely placed. Guru's got a hand on it. That creates a long chase for Aravinda De Silva. Still gets to the boundary. It's 72 for 1.
Well, short of the length again. There were too many balls that he's short. Better off just pitching it up a little bit more and making the batsman drive you off the front foot.
Gurusingha with the chase.
Well, he may be laughing, but I don't think the bowler would have been if they'd got a third run. It was really sloppy fielding. Watch this. Dives down, can't get the ball in his hand. It's a bit too wide, is that? Much too wide. I know it's spinning a little bit, but the batsman can easily go inside out. He'll give him too much weight. Good running. Well, he may be laughing, but I don't think the bowler would have been if they'd got a third run.
And just looking at those figures, the opener's quite expensive. A little bit loose, certainly. Chaminda Vaas was a bit short. And the spinners have just started.
A bit too wide, is that? Much too wide.
That's nice placement. He's hit it very wide. The middle fieldsman's having to run a long way around to pick that one up. Gurusingha, the fieldsman down there, and his throw, a long one to the far end. Mark Taylor just 2 runs away from 3,000 one-day international runs. He'll be the 7th Australian to achieve that feat. In the air, and that'll be it. It's running down towards the boundary. That's very well timed. A good shot. Into the fence it goes. Mark Taylor's looking in good form here. So it's the 50 partnership, and a milestone for Mark Taylor as well.
Well, he picked his spot here, Mark Taylor, but this is a superb piece of timing. Foot right to the pitch of the ball, and once he saw that the ball really wasn't there, went through with a shot, no half measures, and over mid-wicket for 4.
And that's his half century. So that's very well played. Under pressure, Mark Taylor, the captain, has come to the party. So Mark Taylor, a half century, 90 for 1. So Ricky Ponting having a little look around. There's a deep mid-wicket for him, a deep square leg, and a sweeper on the offside as well. He's been playing very straight. This will be close, just wide of the stumps. They needed a direct hit there. That makes the difference. If you can hit those stumps direct, you've got a chance of a run out when it's tight. Let's have another look at the replay.
Well, yeah, Ricky Ponting running with the shot, but what he didn't realize, the ball went too quickly to mid-on, and had that fielder hit the stumps, Ricky Ponting would have definitely been out.
Yes, it makes such a difference. Taylor has 53 or 54 balls, and that's well played, well fielded. Played away again to the right of the fieldsman. Mahanama is the man there. Good field.
Well, he's one of the best fielders in the Sri Lankan team, and this is the kind of fielding that can lift the spirits of the other players.
Not far from the fielder. He'd have got it wide had he let it go. As it is, he's picked up 2 runs. But from a stroke that was in the air a long time.
Well, it was such a bad ball and so wide that I think Mark Taylor had to really reach for it further than he expected, and so he scooped it in the air. Fortunately, it went in the gap.
This final being played in Lahore, as one of the host countries, Pakistan, sponsoring. And the pictures are brought to you by WorldTel and Grand Slam Sports. That placement. Got out your pen and pencil and a bit of paper and drawn the line. Couldn't have been better to split those 2 men.
Well, he's played beautifully all day. He's not had to show too much aggression because his timing and placement have been excellent. He's just played the ball basically where he's wanted all day.
It is a big ground. That's close. It doesn't seem to me that he's spinning the ball a great deal, but it seems to Ponting that he might have got an inside edge on it. And he was outside off stump. It was a quicker ball. He saw him coming, bowled it well, and then fumble to bring up the 100 partnership between Mark Taylor and Ricky Ponting.
Yes, when you keep getting an odd misfeel like that, it doesn't do the confidence of everybody in the team a lot of good. He's not the only one that's fumbled an easy ball.
It's in the air. And it's gone. He's got it. Taylor has gone. He's swept. And Jayasuriya has kept his head there running around and taken a very good catch. He had quite a distance to go. Picked it right from the moment it left Taylor's bat, and that's 2 down, 137 on the board.
Well, that's the sort of mistake that Sri Lanka needed. Change of bowling, a 4th spinner in the game, a top edge. Not too difficult catch, just had to keep his nerve while the ball was in the air. And they've got a little bit of luck. It's been a long time coming. Lovely innings by Mark Taylor. Played beautifully in comfort. 137 for 2.
Steve Waugh, the new batsman, coming into the fall at Mark Taylor's wicket. De Silva to bowl. Ponting's the man taking a strike. And this is the way Mark Taylor perished.
Well, it's about the only false shot that Mark Taylor's played. He's been in such good touch. And it came as a big surprise. A little bit of an edge, half played for, and half a little bit of an edge, but it brings up 2 more runs for Australia. And you get the impression on this pitch that it's the batsman that's got to make a mistake. There's not too many snakes in the pitch.
Once again, Jayasuriya was the man on the spot. He's taken 2 catches in this innings. And right throughout this World Cup, he's been in the game. He's thrown the stumps down a couple of times for run-outs, got catches, some wickets. most importantly, he's got quick runs. He'll need them again here in Lahore if Sri Lanka are to win.
And that partnership between Kalu Witharna and Jayasuriya has given Sri Lanka many a good start.
And he's bowled in. A little bit of turn there, so Aravinda De Silva doing exactly the job that his captain brought him on for. Get some wickets.
And Ricky Ponting, who's also played well, deceived by that one from Aravinda De Silva. How often we've seen in the limited overs game batsmen who are well set trying to run the ball down to third man, and this time completely missing it. Ball turning a little bit, and look at Aravinda De Silva. No wonder he's happy, because he's got an important wicket. Australia 152 for 3.
Well, Mark Taylor is not a captain to let the game just roll along. He's always putting it to the opposition, seeing if the opposition are prepared to be flexible or change their tactics. So he sent in Shane Warne. 24 of 14 deliveries against New Zealand. Played an important role there as a pinch hitter. Just 4 men inside the circle for Warne. 3 out on the onside, 2 on the off. And the pinch hitter's getting cute now to get off the mark. It's 153 for 3. Aravinda De Silva picking up his second wicket in that over. He got rid of Mark Taylor, and then Ricky Ponting attempting to play the little late cut. I think really the mistake that Ponting made there, he wasn't balanced when he played the shot. The shot could have been played, but he wasn't balanced. He was still on the move as he was trying to play the shot. And he's gone, I think. Very quick piece of work there from Kalu Witharna. He had him off quickly.
Well, that was bowled down the leg side. I think the Sri Lankans had it planned that in case Shane Warne does give the charge, they should bowl down the leg side, and there you are. Clearly the bat has not gone down. Super work there by Kalu Witharna. The Sri Lankans need to be given credit for planning it, although this time Shane Warne was playing a defensive shot. Australia 156 for 4. And the crowd certainly appreciating the work done by Kalu Witharna. The Sri Lankan flags there. We know that there's been a special charter flight which has come down. Very quick, very good work there by Kalu Witharna. Australia 156 for 4.
Well, the Australians just allowing Sri Lanka back into this game. 3 wickets falling fairly quickly. One of them a pinch hitter, Shane Warne. Stuart Law, who played such an important innings in the semi-final, really the man who got Australia here. He didn't get the Man of the Match award, but without Stuart Law's 72 there, Australia really could not have set the West Indies a target that would have mattered. And then Shane Warne's 4 wickets also wouldn't have done much. So an important innings from Stuart Law in that semi-final. Murali Dhiran, a good piece of bowling and well assisted by the wicket-keeper.
Well, there you are, Murali Dhiran just bowling a little bit down the leg side. I think it was more in anticipation of Shane Warne giving him the charge. They must have planned that, but Shane Warne didn't quite give him the charge. But he overbalanced, and Ramesh Kalu Witharna, anticipating, was right there and had the bails off in a flash.
Tilakaratne. These wickets have definitely given new life to the Sri Lankans in the field.
Yes, they're definitely throwing themselves at everything now. There is a tendency when the batsmen are going well for the heads to drop. The effort not quite there. But as soon as a couple of wickets fall, and particularly quickly, then the fielding immediately perks up. leg side. I think it was more in anticipation of Shane Warne giving him the charge. He must have planned that, but Shane Warne didn't quite give him the charge. But with no balance on Ramesh Kalurkhan anticipating, he was right there and got the nails off the flash.
That's a nice little touch there from Stuart Law. Well run, Steve Waugh getting back very quickly, although he's decided against the third. It's 163 for 4. Ball just flicking the pad of Stuart Law. Got into good position so that if he didn't get a bat on it, it did clip the pad. And Tilakaratne there getting away a quick throw, which caused Steve Waugh to send Stuart Law back. Dara Messina is on now at the college end and moving into the commentary position with me, Ranjit Fernando.
Sri Lanka have slowly but surely crawled back into this game through the courtesy of Aravinda De Silva, who has just completed a very useful spell. And with comparatively 2 new batsmen at the crease, the Sri Lankans applying a great deal of pressure.
We keep talking about what is a manageable target. Ranjit, you've spent a lot of time with the Sri Lankans recently. What do you think that their expectations are?
Yes, I think they felt that they deserve another crack at Australia, since they felt that they should have had Australia probably in the Benson & Hedges final, and this probably is the glorious opportunity they've been given.
You've been watching them now for nearly a couple of hours. Early on, I thought there might have been signs, a little bit of tension out there. Do you feel they're pretty comfortable now?
Yes, and I think the Sri Lankans had developed a great deal of resilience during the last few months, and this certainly has come to the fore here. They've really come back from a rather tight situation and come back sneaking into the game.
In the air. And well taken. A well-judged catch. Aravinda De Silva, who's already taken 2 wickets, now takes a good catch.
That's certainly a great blow for Sri Lanka. A top edge by Steve Waugh and Aravinda De Silva running across, taking a very good judged catch, keeping his eyes on the ball all the time and catching it to a nicety. Is he not delighted?
170 for 5. Well, this final has really come alive here in Lahore, Pakistan. Michael Bevan, the left-hander, at the crease. Came in to bat against the West Indies without much form, mainly because he hadn't had a lot of hits. Played well in that match. And he'll need to play well again. There's a big wicket getting rid of Steve Waugh. He's been such a good player in all forms of cricket for Australia in that middle order. Michael Bevan, terrific record. And you see there that he didn't have to do much until that semi-final against the West Indies. He has with him Stuart Law, the man who also played well against the West Indies. And Arjuna Ranatunga going on the attack, has a slip in. That's good captaincy. And 4 men in, saving the single.
Two new men at the wicket. Sri Lanka certainly have their tails up, and Muralidharan now getting his act together. He's been getting the prodigious turn he's been reputed to have.
Bevan off the mark. And there's a good delivery from Dara Messina. Got rid of Steve Waugh, just catching the front edge. And that's a very well judged catch. Not so easy when you're on the full run to catch them. The eyes are just bobbing up and down a little bit. Aravinda De Silva didn't have enough time to get there and get set. That's a good catch. When you're running almost flat out, they're not easy.
Muralidharan certainly getting his line right now, and his confidence growing with the new batsman in.
Once again, the top spinner catching a leading edge. They've really come alive now, Sri Lanka.
Muralidharan mixing things up that time. The ball going straight through, drifting away from the bat.
Steve Waugh just catching the front edge.
Beautifully played square of the wicket. Good piece of fielding in the outfield there, restricting the batsman to only a couple. But that's the problems the Australians will face at the moment. Is they've lost too many wickets, yet at the same time they have to keep the scoreboard moving. Oh, that's beautifully bowled.
He's having a good day, Kalavatharana. That brilliant stumping of Shane Warne down the leg side may well have been called a wide, but you can be stumped off a wide. Now, very quick again.
And that really is a fine take, because that ball spun pretty quickly. Never easy when it pitches around leg stump and the batsman covers you. Really was a good take. Loud shout for leg before, but that one pitched outside the leg stump.